Sadly, a lot of people in this TikTok, whatever the fuck generation, don't get to experience the things detailed in this video. They don't have many stories to tell except about how they fucking almost ranked up that one time in Valorant. If this happens to be you, take this video as inspiration to actually do things in the real world, since, as you will come to see, even a shit experience in real life is much better than most online. With that being said, strap yourself in, get some sugar-free drink, maybe a water, maybe an unsweetened iced tea, that's my fucking favorite, and get yourself some, like, I don't know, raw carrots to chew on, and enjoy the story that will no doubt be passed on throughout the ages. I want to start off by saying that every self-improvement YouTuber, when they talk about what you should avoid doing, especially in college, going to these fucking shit-ass nightclubs, they talk about them as, like, awful, disgusting places for a reason. I was one of those who didn't believe this previous statement. I thought they were just gatekeeping all the... they were just fucking gatekeeping all the bitches, you know, they just didn't want me to get any bitches. They had something against me specifically, and these clubs were gonna be the best thing since sliced bread. I was wrong. Who would have fucking thought? This experience happened during my 6-week stay in quite possibly the best country to ever be conceived, Magyarország, Hungary. Epic. I was coming there from a slightly different place, Los Angeles, California, which if you live there, and if you like don't live in like fucking very specific area, downtown, whatever, then you know that it's pretty isolated. It's kind of hard to get bitches, especially if you're like, I don't know, weird autistic Sea of Thieves player. I actually don't know what gameplay I'm gonna put in the background, so that may be an ironic comment, depending on what's up on the screen right now. In order to go to this epic funny nightclub, I needed some accomplices. So far, there was me and my stepbrother. My stepbrother had a few friends. Those few friends and us were going to meet up at a car show. Very nice. Car show. Yippee. You're gonna get to see fucking McLaren 720. I don't know shit about cars, my guy. The point is, we're gonna meet up at the car show. But this is a Hungarian car show. So we actually couldn't really tell the difference between the cars on the street normally and the cars in the car show. My guy, they were all the same fucking 1940s tractor, whatever the shit, and all the people were looking at like, whoa, it's so impressive. It probably was for them, but you have to understand that like, if you live in any place in America, or even just that isn't a second world country, you will see these cars that were at this car show at any fucking Trader Joe's parking lot, my guy. Trust me, it wasn't that much of a spectacle. So we get there to the car show. Epic, right? We meet up with the guy's friends. They're cool. They're slightly nice. One of the guys shows a few hilarious videos on his phone, of other, I don't know, nights out they've had where they just gotten completely fucked. Not in that way. Wonderful. And here's when the downfall of the night started. Alcohol. So these guys... Oh, by the way, I did not love alcohol because I'm fucking under 18, let alone under 21. So I was not gonna fucking drink, my guy. The others did not hold this mindset. Before we went to the club I was talking about, let me just detail you what these guys consumed. They got all their calories from funny Clash of Clans spells. They had around 3 beers each. That was, as they would say, nem ma kezdtem, which means I didn't start today. And right they did not fucking start today, because on top of these 3 beers, which would already completely waste any Los Angeles resident, these guys went into the... Okay, I need to cut in because I pronounce this like a fucking retard who like study Hungarian like as a 5th language. Nemzeti dohány volt. There we go. Epic. Nice. in recording, please. Which is the fucking tobacco shop. There's just one place in the nation where you can get your tobacco because everyone just fucking loves that shit so much as well. And these guys bought a Jägermeister. Let's go. You may know the Jägermeister from Funny Anomaly Knife Unboxing.
Hello, Papa? Nay, oh my... Nay, you said you were gonna drink the whole bottle! Nay!
It tastes like fucking medicine. Another thing Hamza talks about, relating to the previous point, is that there's a thing in the UK called pre-drinking, where him and his friend would get a bottle of vodka and fucking share that bitch before they went to the club. Amazing. That was a very funny story, I thought. Surely it wouldn't happen. Oh, it's happening. Oh, why are they? Oh. So if you couldn't guess by now, these guys, across the three of them, these guys downed the entire Jaeger before we went to the actual club we were planning on going. Wonderful. So everyone was a tiny bit not sober, let's just say. Well, except for me. So we go on, walk our way to the club. We got into the club. There were the bouncers. Oh shit, what are we gonna do? Apparently it's fine for me as a person under 18 to go into this. Surely nothing bad could happen, right? Unfortunately, they needed an ID. Double unfortunately, they needed a Hungarian ID. Now, the last time I've been to the country and gotten my ID, I was kind of 6 years old. So on my ID, it showed a picture of me from when I was fucking 6 years old. You can see how this is a problem when trying to get access to a nightclub. Oh well, it's Hungary, surely they won't mind. We walk past the bouncers, holding out our fucking... well, they have normal IDs because they actually live there. I'm holding my picture of my 6-year-old self, not at the bouncers, whatever. They just fucking nod me in. Apparently this isn't the first time this happened. They just let me in. Wonderful. We go in to the place to pay. And wouldn't you know it, tonight is the best time to come. Because there is, you know how there's like all-you-can-eat places that like powerlifters and shit they try to get kicked out of 3 times a week? Well, this place was all-you-can-drink, where really, really sad people go to try and become less really, really sad people. And it doesn't really work that well. But I digress. Tonight was an all-you-can-drink night. You understand how this comes to be a problem. But anyways, so far we were completely fine. We went in, right? We walked in. Epic. It's loud as shit. It smells like fucking vomit and vodka Red Bull mixed. The floors are sticky. When, like, literally when you fucking step on the floor and then you try and step off of the floor, your shoe sticks. What is the cause of that? I will leave up to imagination. I'm not sure I want to know myself. But anyways, these guys, how foolish of me. I forgot to mention one of the biggest factors in all of this. Tobacco. Hungarians love tobacco. I touched on that previously, but I don't think I clarified the extent to which they do. The place we were in, like 1,000 Hungarians crowded into one place with encouragement to smoke. I think that's how clouds are made, actually. If you just look outside your window right now, if you see any clouds, I think that was the cause of that. So basically, it felt like we were inside a cloud, but of like lung cancer. Everyone was smoking. Anyways, we make our way over to the bar. But guess who else is at the bar? You will never guess. Do you know those like you know those dumbasses that were famous for saying vinki like a few years ago? Like they just mispronounced Da Vinci and that was their funny joke, and that's why they got quadrillions of views, is because they said Da Vinci. Well, yeah, don't ask me why those motherfuckers were there in the middle of Hungary, in the middle of this shit-ass club where everyone was smoking and drunk as fuck. But yeah, they were there for some reason. Everyone was fucking crowded around them like, oh my god. Because they were all like, I don't know, they all wanted to take pictures of them, to post on their fucking social media. and get clout, get views, whatever the shit. Uh, my stepbrother asked for a picture. That worked. That we still have that picture. Everyone else who he used his phone to take a picture of, who asked for a picture, including me because I thought it would be funny to send to my friends. The picture didn't turn out so well, let's just say. His student ID was in his phone case and happened to be blocking his camera. And so, when he showed me the epic funny picture, it was just a blur. It was just black because the student ID was covering the camera. So that was unfortunate, but I still have the picture of him fucking and his friend, like, next to the vinki. Like, they were unreasonably tall, but maybe that's just their hair. I don't know. It was a very surreal experience, to say the least, because it's like, what the fuck are these guys doing? So, as the night progresses, we spend a few hours there, unfortunately. They drink more and more. I do not. I keep my lukewarm water until, I don't know whose idea it was. It was one of our ideas. But we started a very, very epic, like, arm wrestling tournament. We get a table, which was actually, like, a greater feat than fucking Atlas holding up the world. Because this bitch was so crowded, there's no way anyone's getting a table. We somehow got a table, got down on it, started arm wrestling each other. Other drunk dumbasses, like ourselves, well, I'm not drunk, I'm just a fucking dumbass, but I digress. They started coming over to the table and challenging us. Now, my stepbrother, let's just say he knows his way around a barbell. Let's just say he's over the intermediate numbers, according to, like, if you Google intermediate strength standards, every single one of them he fucking, like, shits on easily. So he's a pretty strong guy. The other guy, one of his friends, was a boxer. He was a very good boxer. And so, as you can tell, these two made a fucking formidable duo. That is until, like, the people who, like, have been following the berserk method for the past 25 years started approaching our table and fucking challenging us. It's at this point that I have to remind you why these places are bad in the first place, because all of these things, like, they're fine, they're tolerable, but what's the reason you go there? To attempt to speak to some woman. Now, let me tell you about the women that were in this place. I actually don't know if there's an English phrase for them, but, what's it called? Let me translate something my stepdad said very funnily. It's like, you send them down into the mine and the coal comes up. Like, to run away from them. That's the types of women that go to these places, my guy. There's, like, the occasional person who, like, looks marginally better than a fucking frog, but most of the, like, people in these places, like, they dress, like, pretty revealing, but what they're revealing, no, trust me, no one wants to see. So that's the types of women you can expect to see around here. Again, it's not like a fucking isekai world where you, like, go in and the perfect hourglass shaped proportioned woman with fucking big eyes goes up to you. No, it's just some fat fucking drunk, disgusting, like, stupid woman and men. For the most part, we weren't that. We were cool. Trust me. Trust me, bro. Obviously, we're not gonna speak to any of these women. This is just AIDS. Even if you were to speak to them, like, trust me, the level of conversation that you can have is, like, bro, if you've never been around a drunk person, you don't know. I can't really describe it, but, like, I do not envy the people who still go there. Let's just say. So all these people started gathering around. We started arm wrestling each other. I got turbo shit on by everyone except for one guy who I managed to tie. I beat him with my left hand. He beat me with his right hand. And yeah, that was the end of the arm wrestling saga. That's where a few of the women gathered around. It was like, hey, let's go. But, like, they were ugly as shit. So obviously, nothing was happening. Nothing was coming out of that. Now, there's a saying that my stepbrother likes to employ in cases like this. And the saying is, there are no unattractive women, just not enough alcohol. He had enough alcohol. So he did make a few attempts to go over and be like, hey, what's fucking good? Unfortunately, I think he made these attempts to the people who had just come into the club and we're not yet fucking drunk. So it was just like this guy going up to them, like saying incoherent, slurred speech. Like my stepbrother is fucking like smooth ass, cool ass guy, obviously. But like when anyone's been through as many tequila shots and Jägermeisters as this guy, let's just say it like decreases your SMV slightly. So obviously these girls were kind of like just like, hi, I have to fucking, I have to call fucking, my friend's calling me, that's so weird, why is my friend calling me, and then, yeah, no one got any bitches. The boxer guy did, however, get angry at something, and he, like, tried to start a fight with one of the bouncers. The bouncer knew better than to get engaged with this, so he just said a few nice Hungarian lines of poetry. And then left us alone. Thank God, because I do not need a fucking hospital bill on top of all the things that happened that night. So after that, after unsuccessful attempts, after the music loud as shit, I was like, this was gonna be a difficult journey. Because even though I was not intoxicated, I was also not fucking able to move properly. Because as I'm telling you, the amount of like fucking epilepsy seizures I had from that, like the strobing lights and shit and the loud ass music, and on top of like the just environment in general, like our collective IQ was probably that of one Bosnian, which is very, very low. So we were stumbling our way over. We stumbled our way out of the club. Bro, one of the guys just fucking laid over on a curb, started like throwing up and shit. It's at this point that when people get drunk, their like speaking abilities, improve vastly, as you can guess. So it's at this point that my stepbrother started to convince him to get off this fucking disgusting homeless man ledge in a mix of Hungarian and English, which sounded very funny, and I cannot replicate. I'm very sorry, I wish I could. But essentially, we were there for 20 minutes trying to convince this fucking guy to just, like, get off the ledge. And then... Fuck me. But he finally got off the ledge. Epic, right? We still spent, like, an hour in the same, like, 10 feet of space because my stepbrother really needed to, like, roll a cigarette. But, like, he was unable to coordinate himself to roll a cigarette. It was very, very sad. So, we started walking. We started walking back. It was like, you know how in Minecraft when you fucking like when you're trying to tame an animal and you like hold out the wheat and you're trying to get them to follow you? That's kind of what it was like trying to get back to this apartment, my guy. Every 5 seconds we have to like look back to make sure everyone was still okay. No one got fucking hit by oncoming traffic. And we looked back one time and one of the guys went up to a fucking sleeping homeless person and just started talking shit to them for no good reason. The homeless man didn't do anything. They were just they didn't even react to anything because it was like, just think about how fucked up being a homeless person in Hungary has to be, okay? All jokes aside, wherever you are in life currently, at least you're not a homeless person in Hungary. So they were probably used to this. They didn't respond, thankfully, because then we would have a real problem on our hands. And at one point, my stepbrother was just like, okay, fuck them. If they choose to follow us, they follow us, but, like, we need to make it home. So, yeah, we did make it home. By this point, it was, like, 4 a.m. We, fucking waddled up the stairs. I, did all the basic hygiene things that humans should do. And I fucking passed out, vowing to never go through that dog shit place or anything like that again. Considering that this is a series, I did not keep my promise. But what I can say is that for genuinely a week after this event, I was so fucked up. Like, in terms of like cognitive ability. It's like I had so much like input delay, and it's like I did like / game mode 3, and I was just like living life in spectator mode for the next week. So yeah, Moral of the story, don't fucking do this. Talk to actual women. We did talk to actual women outside of this dog shit environment. And I'm sure that will be a very funny story as well. Thank you very much for sticking around. Hopefully this inspired you to go take some action. As in, go get your own experiences so you can say stories like this to your friends, to an audience of your own, to your parents, whatever the fuck. If your parents would find this kind of thing funny. Apart from that, yeah, have a fucking good day. Do whatever do whatever you plan on doing. Go play some volleyball. I know I'm gonna go play some volleyball. Goodbye. Have fun playing volleyball. I'm